Hi, I'm Enchanting Nubianette. Welcome back to all of my new viewers. Welcome. I'm about to share a very sad and tragic incident. It's a lesson for everyone and a reminder that life is so fleeting. Stay prayed up and protected each and every day. In Texas, a concrete truck driver, 42-year-old Jerry Hernandez, crashed into a school bus. 44 pre-kindergarten students and 11 adults were returning from a fun day at the zoo. On Friday, March 22nd, the school day could have ended normally. All of these children from the Tom Green Elementary School would be joyful while returning home to see their families, typically sharing their experiences, seeing various animals with excitement. But tragically, an innocent 5-year-old child, Ulysses Rodriguez Montoya, and 33-year-old Ryan Wallace, who was a driver of a third vehicle, passed away. Please remember to share, like, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Now, Ryan Wallace was a dedicated uncle. He was being a supportive brother by picking up his sister's kids from school. Sadly, Mr. Wallace was driving behind the school bus and was affected by the crash. The following weeks, this Utah doctoral candidate was scheduled to make his dissertation presentation. Here's more details about his passion.
Into the path of that school bus, a driver behind the bus died, and we learned today members of the journalism program at the University of Texas are now grieving as they lost Ryan Wallace, a PhD candidate.
His family tells us he was on his way to pick up his sister's children from school. Our Jayla Washington reports.
A digital Rolodex of some of Ryan Wallace's brightest moments. Those who knew him feeling as if the world now more dim with him gone.
It just doesn't make any sense to me.
Wallace, 33, died here on Highway 21, driving behind the bus that collided with a concrete truck on Friday. He was a PhD candidate at the School of Journalism and Media at UT Austin. He focused on how science is portrayed in the media and how researchers and journalists can work together to make it easier for the general public to understand.
I think he really wanted to kind of be the change he wanted to see.
Working with Wallace to create a science course that UT still teaches, Professor Kathleen McElroy now works alone. She launched a fundraiser for his family.
I worry more about his family and making sure they have enough support.
Data from the Texas Department of Transportation shows since the start of 2022, there have been nearly 130 crashes on the stretch of road where Wallace died. In fact, people in the area have complained about it for years. TxDOT says in 2021, it did add passing and turning lanes to help with safety, as well as more striping to make drivers more alert, but has not lowered the speed limit, saying a study found it's appropriate. Wallace, heading to pick up his sister's kids from school, never made it. He was set to present his dissertation next month to become a doctor.
In my mind, I'm going to just think of him as Dr. Wallace because I think he earned it.
Jayla Washington, KXAN News.
And Ryan's sister, in a statement on the behalf of the family, also wanted us to share that he was an excited new homeowner in Bastrop, a proud UT Longhorn, and not just a nameless second victim in this tragedy. They added, quote, "Our family wants people to know my brother Ryan Wallace because to know him was to love him," adding that he was, quote, "one of the brightest minds and most shining personalities in any room."
There's no reason for anyone to pass away like this. Additionally, the bus driver, a hero whose defensive driving skills practically saved herself and 54 people on the bus. Presently, the school bus driver has mental and physical injuries. Unfortunately, also an early childhood education teacher is still hospitalized. And as an employee who drives especially, traveling with an immense load of concrete, caution and focus should have been his top priority. Instead, Jerry Hernandez did not get an adequate amount of sleep, before his shift, and on top of that, he had nose candy beginning with the letter C. I'm unable to say the drug due to YouTube's restrictions. Because of Jerry Hernandez's irresponsibility, 2 sets of families are experiencing loss and pain this very moment. In the video, he was swerving while driving off the lanes. The impact of his concrete truck crashed into the school bus, creating a massive fire.
Driver of a concrete truck who struck a Central Texas school bus last week reportedly told investigators that he did cocaine the morning of the crash. Hello, everybody. I'm Heather Hayes.
I'm Steve Eager. It's 9 o'clock. Those reports emerged soon after video was released showing the truck veering into the path of the Hayes Consolidated ISD bus. A preschooler on board the bus and the driver of a third vehicle were killed in the crash. Fox 4's Blake Hansen has the latest tonight. Blake?
Yeah, Stephen, Heather, video clearly shows that concrete truck crossing into the lane of that school bus. The school leaders, they are praising the bus driver for reacting and possibly avoiding even more loss of life. The Hayes CISD school bus was bringing 44 pre-K students and 11 adults back from the Bastrop Zoo last Friday when a concrete truck veered in its path. We've muted the audio after the collision out of sensitivity to those involved. The crash killed 5-year-old Ulysses Rodriguez Montoya, who was on board the bus. A 33-year-old man in a third vehicle was also killed. This week, the district superintendent praised the bus driver's reactions.
She was able to take an evasive right and keep the bus from being hit squarely. And I think she saved all the rest of the lives as a result of her driving ability.
The bus involved in the crash did not have seatbelts. In 2017, the Texas legislature passed a bill that required seatbelts on any newly acquired school buses. The district says the bus involved in the Bastrop County crash was from 2011.
We haven't gotten the investigation report yet from DPS, and so we'll wait on that to see if seatbelts would have made a difference. But we are planning on accelerating our timeline to make sure that all of our buses in the future will have seatbelts.
Listen to this. In 2010, Bastrop County records stated Jerry Hernandez was charged with possession or delivery of drug paraphernalia in that same year. Plus, he has a dozen or more traffic violations across 3 Central Texas counties going back to early 2000s. Jerry Hernandez is charged with criminally negligent homicide. He was also arrested in an unrelated warrant for a bond violation out of Hayes County. And I'm waiting to hear more about his additional charges too. How in the world was Jerry Hernandez even hired as a driver? Why would this man be hired over other applicants, especially with so much previous legal issues? This baffles me. That's why it's imperative as a driver to look out and check the actions of everyone around you. In my opinion, every state should enforce more blood alcohol testing for everyone in charge of a large vehicle. That includes various types of transportation: truck drivers, train conductors, boat captains, anyone at sea, pilots of any air transportation, any vehicle, period. And if not every day, at least twice a week, these tests should be administered. It takes seconds to take a breathalyzer test, and labs can provide results from blood work within hours or a day. These transportation or vehicle companies must take more preventative measures. In the video, the Tom Green School Superintendent mentioned that the school bus did not have functional seatbelts. The bus was constructed in 2011. Back then, school buses weren't required to use the safety belts. However, since the law changed in Texas, especially children should not be transported in any vehicle without extra safety. Maybe Ulysses would still be alive. We'll find out after the investigation. Another point, speed limits must be changed on that road. As you heard on the video, residents have complained over and over about drivers continually speeding. Now their pleas won't fall on deaf ears. And to anyone who drives, if you haven't yet, take the defensive driving course. It teaches so many strategies to stay safe on the road and in-depth vehicle maneuvering. I have been taking the course repeatedly for over 20 years. And it's a nice discount on your car insurance too. The bus driver is a hero. I would love to know more about her recovery and background information. I believe it's a female. And I hope those children and adults receive therapy for their trauma too. And my condolences to both families. May Ulysses and Ryan rest in peace. And please remember to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks a million and stay safe wherever you are.